Let me start with a confronting comment. Although risk management has been around for decades, few organisations are maximising the benefits. Results at best are mediocre. As described in the Watch This First video, poor risk management is the only reason we do not achieve objectives. So what's gone wrong? Consider this. Please pause the video and consider which of these apply to your organisation. You may, of course, have additions to the list. This stage 4 has two parts, starting with a simple approach for gaining executive support to improving risk management, and then how such an approach can assist ongoing governance and the improvement of business outcomes. Hi, my name is Gavin Halling, founder of Risk Tools. I've been working with clients to ensure risk management adds value for some 3 decades. In many cases, the biggest challenge in implementing changes has been gaining support from the executive. There are 3 key messages to gaining support. First is the direct link between risk management and achieving objectives is not widely appreciated. It's certainly readily understood once explained. Second, being able to progressively demonstrate value through measuring improvements as described in stage 5. Finally, de-risking the initiative by undertaking changes for a single project so improvements can be seen before taking the risk system wider. Additionally, transparency builds trust, and that leads to improved communication and collaboration. For those who have jumped straight to this stage, the term project is used throughout this playbook to mean strategic plans, business cases, change management, separately funded projects, or similar. In short, anywhere achievement of objectives is the goal. Once the initiative is underway, governance plays 2 roles. First is approvals, or otherwise, for a project, and once underway, being able to see trends and gain assurance that risks are being managed, or alternatively, see where senior management input may be needed. Starting with approvals, let's delve deeper into the diagram that was introduced in stage 2. A key property of any objective is a timeline. Risks are most numerous at the start when least is known about the work required, so workshopping risks as early as possible will help with identifying and prioritising subsequent activities. Once the objective is attained, there will not be any risks. Achieving an objective requires at least 2 phases, planning and implementation. Planning is focused on identifying the steps that will be required to achieve the objective. At the end of planning, a review and decision is required on whether to proceed with implementation, undertake more planning, or cancel the work. So as a minimum, governance requires a review towards the end of planning. The review should include consideration on whether the objectives are still appropriate. If risk management has been thorough, that 80% of risks will have been identified before starting implementation. There's substantial research and anecdotal evidence to support the 80% figure. At this point, treatments, although identified, may not have been undertaken. In a contract environment, this figure can approach 90% with some additional procurement processes. Contact us using the Arrange a Call link on page 8 if you would like to explore this aspect. When undertaking a review, risk management is usually a good indicator on whether planning has been sufficient to move into implementation. Here's an example. An analysis report enables the status of risk to be seen. For approval, the decision requires consideration of whether the risk profile, e.g. the number of risks in the red zone, is acceptable. Initially, this will need to be a judgment, but as historical data grows, the profile can be compared with previous projects. The analysis report also shows the initial risk ratings, so movement and hence what management has already occurred to reduce risks can be seen. This provides evidence on how well risks have been managed to date. Most risk management toolsets provide a risk rating profile, but other reports can be helpful. The screenshots in this playbook are from a risk organizer and are shown so viewers can make some comparisons with their current arrangements or future plans. There are 3 types of analysis reports. a snapshot of today's data, a comparison of today's data against an earlier date, and trend reports so readers can gain insights on the management of risks. Once a project has been approved, governance moves to monitoring to ensure proactive management of risk continues. These reports assist with ongoing monitoring and helping to identify where help may be needed. In many cases, governance will want an overview of a group of projects, such as within a business unit or program, rather than a single project. Grouping can simplify reporting and help to identify systemic risks. The key aspect of governance is to ensure that everyone is using the same risk management system. This increases efficiency, as once exposed to the system, anyone in the organisation knows what to expect and can hit the ground running in future risk management activity. The need for consistency is also critical for longer projects where personnel change. As handovers occur, knowledge levels change, and this results in a step out of the risk profile. The step out is exacerbated if handover processes are poor or risk management is inadequate. Here are some steps that have in the past been successful in improving risk management. How would you undertake the role in your organisation? What helps garner wider support is to see measurable improvement, and that's the topic of the next stage. I look forward to catching up with you then.